So it's been the most incredible few hours, and I hope you've all taken copious amounts of notes, and I hope that you've all had many, many light bulb moments, and I hope that you all are beginning to maybe just consider the possibilities for 2021. But what I want to do, if I can, is just kind of summarize the last two, today and yesterday, to pull it all together and to help you think about a structure and to think about the simplicity of what you've got your hands on. And the first thing that I want to kind of refresh or revisit is mindset. You know, Diana did a fabulous session last night about mindset. And I can honestly say that unless you've got your mind in the right place, it is very, very difficult to be productive in anything that you're doing. And I just want to say, I truly get the hardship of what people are going through at this moment with the pandemic. And I am very empathetic because we are all of us only human. And when we are working maybe in a job, and maybe that is working from home, maybe we're having to balance that work with homeschooling. You know, we've got the negativity of the press bombarding us all day, every day. We've got the little niggles and the frustrations that are going on in our lives as well. It can be very difficult to stay positive at all times. You know, I was talking to a beautiful young lady yesterday. She actually is a frontline key worker. She works 3 days a week as a community midwife, health supporter. And she's really struggling right now because she needs to put her little boy into school for 3 days that she works. But unfortunately, she's not allowed to, because you're not allowed to put your little boy into school unless she was a key worker full time. So she's having to juggle this school, working from home, working online, being in the community, trying to stay safe. And, you know, that's when I understand that mindset is going to be challenged. So I guess one of the things I'm trying to say to you is, you know, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, but equally have a little bit of toughness as well. Do not let yourself get into what I call negativity overwhelm, because we can't function when we're like that. So one of the ways that I think is a great way to manage your mindset is let go of what's gone by. You know, we cannot impact the past. You know, we can learn from it, but we can't impact what happened yesterday, last week, last year, the year before. But we can take from it the good things that help us stay buoyant. And that means that we can be grateful for the things that we can take forward, because that is what we can impact. We can impact where we're going in the future. So let go of what's gone, be grateful for what we've got, and look forward to what's coming. And just be aware that mindset is a vital part of you achieving success. And I also know that there will be moments when you have to walk away from everything. You know, I had to do that the other day. I just needed to get away from the phones, the computers, people, everything. And I just, you know, put on my boots and I went and had a walk in the hills, which are, you know, on my doorstep, which was amazing. Blows the cobwebs, helps you ground yourself, helps you get the clarity on what's important, and you can move on. So please remember to manage your mindset. And if you feel it becoming overwhelming, ask for support, ask for help, or reground yourself, and then move forward again. And then we talk about goals, and goals are fundamental to success. And as I said last night, I actually found my original goal book the other day. In fact, I should take some photos of it or do a little live and hold it up and show you. And what's fascinating, every single thing in that goal book has got a big tick against it. But I will say to you that I didn't come to the point of setting goals easily. I remember when I was first encouraged to set goals, I kind of fought the process. I didn't understand the importance of committing your goals to visual images, to committing your goals to the written word. And I had like an arrogance around me. Well, maybe it wasn't an arrogance, maybe it was a lack of understanding. where I said, I don't need to write down my goals. I don't need to do a dream board. I know what I want. It's already in my mind. Well, we do know, and psychologists tell us this, that you can't focus on a wish or a whim or a thought. You can only focus on something that has clarity. So I remember one day sitting down and writing my first set of goals, and it was literally handwritten on a scrap of paper. And I wrote down about 4 or 5 things. And I remember John doing exactly the same exercise. And we did it rather begrudgingly because it was lack of understanding. And I remember finding those bits of paper again about a year after we'd been in the business. And incredibly, everything that we had written down had come to be. And so for me and for the people I coach, it's vital to have clarity on the goal. And always to understand that less is more. You know, I remember as if it were yesterday, sitting down with Natalie when she came to me for her first goal setting session. She had this piece of paper and there must have been 40 or 50 goals on it. And whilst all of them are important, and I'm not, belittling any of those goals, the challenge you've got when you've got too much is there is no clarity on any one single thing. And so it is about being able to pinpoint the goal, or maybe 2 or 3 goals that are really, really important to you, and being able to then say, let's have some clarity on them. So for example, with Natalie, when we got down to the absolute minimum of what was important, it was 4,000 a month. That was really important to her, to allow her to have time with the children, etc., etc. And what happened as a result of focusing on the 4,000 a month was she went senior manager with 3 frontline managers. She didn't do level 1 car plan, she did level 2 car plan, and she did over 250 case credits as well. And the reason I'm emphasizing this is because she could not have focused on everything. But by looking at what was the defining goal, and actually the defining goal was 4,000 a month. Because when the 4,000 a month was achieved, everything else on that goal sheet would happen anyway. So I urge you right now to maybe go and look at your goals. And if you are one of those people who have got lots and lots and lots and lots of goals, start looking at them and looking at them in a way whereby you can say, well, if I achieve this one, all of these other ones will happen. And then when you've done that, you need to own that goal. You know, the goal then needs to be so important that you will do whatever needs to be done in order to achieve it. Because let me tell you something, you must never, ever give up on a goal. You must never give up on a goal. And that's why it's important to have a goal. You know, again, Claire spoke about it yesterday, about a goal that you are prepared to move heaven and earth to work towards. Because the minute you quit on a goal, that has an impact on your mindset. And what it creates is doubt in yourself, doubt in your choices, doubt in the opportunity, doubt in the product. And none of that need to be there for you, because if you understand less is more, you have clarity, you've owned the goal, you've committed to them, then you will enjoy achieving them. And I can tell you something right now, achieving a goal is absolutely phenomenal. But when you look at the journey you've gone on to achieve the goal and you put the two together, that's when you realize the kind of person that you are growing into. And I always believe that part of the goal setting and achieving process is the person you become as you work towards achieving the goal. And once you recognize that you are personally developing, then you can have anything you want in this life. There is nothing that you cannot achieve once you start believing in yourself and your ability to achieve your goal. You know, once we've got our goals in place, I think we need to have a real deep understanding of the marketing plan. And I, for one, am always very surprised when I speak with people at all levels on the plan, and I notice that they don't really understand where the profit margins are. You know, I'm not a numbers person. When I first looked at Forever Living and I looked at all the percentages and the case credits, and you get this, you get that, and it was almost too much for me, because I just literally, I don't get all the percentages. But here's the one thing that I realized that I had chosen Forever as my vehicle. Forever was going to be my career. The industry of network marketing, I was going to become a professional at. So if we are giving ourselves to the industry, the company, the product, the marketing model, and our future lifestyles, we owe it to ourselves to understand the marketing model in detail, to the extent where we know exactly how to structure our business for profit. We know exactly how to structure our business to achieve promotions quickly. We know exactly how many people we need in our business at each level, not only to achieve promotion, but to manage the income that comes with the position. And if we don't know this, not only are we doing ourselves a disservice, but we're not able to pass that information on to our serious team members. Now, you won't get the marketing plan overnight. It does take, for me, it took weeks, months of working hard on learning how to understand it. Yes, of course, you get the basics of 25 case credits for supervisors, 75 for assistant manager, 120 to 150 for manager. All of that is what I call, basic stuff. I'm talking about the info behind that allows you to make the kind of money that is possible with Forever, and then show others how to do it. So please take the time to learn the marketing model. And if you don't understand it and there are questions, get back to your big upline and ask them the questions, get them answered, and be comfortable with it. Because, you guys on this call today, you are the next generation of leaders. You are the next generation of Forever superstars. And you need to understand the power of the marketing model that Rex created all those years ago. And this is one of the most generous marketing models in the history of network marketing. And you need to understand why. So please take the time to understand the marketing model. And then when you understand the marketing model, you need to have a strategy. And again, I'm always surprised when I, do goal setting with people. When they write a goal, I want to be a manager, or I want chairman's bonus, or I want to achieve 3,000 a month, or I need to make, £1,000 a month, but they've got no strategy behind the goal. Nothing happens unless you plan your activity. And for me as a coach, and for me as a top FBO in Forever, it fills my heart with joy when I see other leaders talking about strategy and structure and discipline and simplicity and systems, because it means that all we've coached over the years is tumbling down through the duplication. Today we've heard from Claire and we've heard from Lisa, and both of them focused on strategy, prospecting strategies. We heard from Jason and we heard from Bernie, and they talked about their retailing strategy. You don't get success by accident. You get success by planning. And so I want you to think about your goal right now in the first quarter of this year. And the reason I talk about the first quarter is because what you achieve in the first quarter of this year will have an impact on the last quarter of this year. And that means if you get your retailing right, if you get your prospecting right, if you get the amount of new people joining your team, not from you personally, but from your entire team, and then you have a strategy to underpin it, oh my goodness, well, what's going to happen in your business by the end of the year? It will be off the chart. As Bob said, 60, 70, 80, 90% growth by the end of the year as a result of what you've done at the beginning of the year. And I can tell you now, this is something I teach around the world. And it's, just to see the results coming in at the end of the year with the people in my team. I mean, a couple of days ago, we looked at all the results coming in from Nigeria. Big shout out to Team Nigeria. We had a new diamond manager, So many new chairman's bonus qualifiers, levels 1 and 2, same in South Africa in the team, you know, new 10,000 qualifier, new 12,000 qualifier. It's just going crazy over there. And why is it going crazy? Why is the growth happening? Because people have got a goal, they've got the mindset right, they understand the marketing model, then they put their strategy in place. So let me just go through a little bit of strategy with you. Let's have a look at a retail strategy, the simplicity of it. You know, one of the things that we've all had to learn to do in this last 10 months is be adaptable, flexible, and adapting pretty quickly, and, you know, be able to build our retail business online probably more than offline at the moment. So when I'm planning with a new FBO, when I'm planning with an existing FBO, one of the things I want to know is, what have you got planned for your retail strategy this month? And the way that I plan it is I look at what I call pride, which is the one thing that you're going to do come what may. Your personal pride will not allow you to do any less, to what I call high. In other words, this is the maximum that I've planned with this activity. This is what I'm expecting. So if we look at online launches, and again, Bernie covered this beautifully. We look at online launches, and if you look at planning a brand new FBO, you could say, right, you know, we need to do a couple of online launches. We know on average that an online launch will do between 0.5 and 1 case credit per launch. So we can say that a minimum will be 1 case credit and a high of 4. And if you've got 3 or 4 of those planned, 1 a week in the diary, there is no way, as you begin to get better and more effective, that you will not hit between 1 and 4 case credits over the month just by doing 1 launch a week online. Now, when we went into the first lockdown, one of the things that we created very quickly is what we call a WhatsApp show. And this is something that gets brand new FBOs up and running really quickly, and also very confident as well. And the way that you do it is you pick up your mobile phone, you get a brand new FBO, and you get them to invite a couple of people onto the WhatsApp app, because you can have 4 people on WhatsApp at any one time. So it'd be me, it would be a new FBO, and they invite 2 of their friends. And they're little 10-minute, what I call collection shows. So for example, we would take a liquid soap and a Propolis cream and a hand sanitizer. There was a collection. We would take an aloe and a Propolis and Immublend. There was a collection. We would take maybe a tooth gel, a liquid soap and the shampoo conditioner. There's a collection. And literally we would have 2 or 3 collections. And with that little WhatsApp show with those 2 brand new people, in 10 minutes, we would talk about those little collections. And what we were doing, we would be coaching our new FBO, and we would be selling product to their 2 friends. So that new FBO could see how simple it was to explain a product. They could see how simple it was to answer any questions that arose. And very, very quickly, the new FBO would say, I can do that. And we began to realize that, you know, you could do between half to 1.5 case credits by doing, you know, 2 or 3 WhatsApps a week. If you were really ambitious, you could do 2 or 3 a day. You decide how fast you want to get going, but that would be a way that we would plan activity into the retail strategy. C9s, I don't need to go into all of that, but, you know, everybody can retail at least 1 C9 a month, you know, going up to maybe 4 or 5 where you're doing 2 case credits plus. Repeat business, fundamental. Everybody you've heard speaking will talk about their repeat business. However, for a brand new FBO, it's important to get them understanding the power of follow-up, engagement and follow-up, and looking after their customers. And anywhere from 1 to 4 CCs plus per month of repeat business. We've got experience packs, which is a way of letting people try the product in the comfort of their own home. You know, probably not a great idea at the moment, but as restrictions begin to ease a little more, maybe, you know, in February, March time, you can drop a pack off at somebody's door. they can pick it up, they can enjoy the products for a couple of days, you can collect it, wipe everything down, and you're good to go. And anywhere from 0.5 to 2 case credits in the month. So if we look at our retailing strategy, you know, we're planning between 3.5 to 13.5 case credits per month. Now, think about what Jason said. Jason said, he said, I can average 13 case credits a month. And you know why he does that? Because he has a retail strategy in place. Now, when I'm working with an FBO and I'm planning their business, I'm planning their business based on activity rather than just guesswork. So we know with confidence the activities in the diary, and we can be looking at anywhere between 3 to 13 case credits. And typically what will happen, it'll be around 6 to 7 to 8 for the average FBO when you have planned it into their diaries. Now, another reason why planning is important and strategy is, as a coach, I have a point of reference when I talk to an FBO about, are they on track? You know, if I'm talking to an FBO, I'll say, right, we've got a launch book tomorrow night. I'll be on it with you to support, but you're going to do most of it yourself. We've got a WhatsApp show tomorrow. You know, you've got a little Clean 9 event going on next week. I've always got something to engage with the FBO, to work with, and to coach competency, which is what we're looking to do, because the quicker they can retail without my help, the better. That allows me then to focus on the prospecting strategy. And prospecting strategy for me is really, really important. You know, prospecting is about connecting, engaging, and inviting. And Claire and Lisa, both of them sponsored over 50 people last year. They did a lot of connecting, engaging, and inviting. Now, listen, as a brand new FBO, I would never expect you on day one to be doing the kind of activity somebody who is recruiting 50, 60 people in the year to do. However, you do have to do activity every single day. And so the way that we look at it is we look at activity that is relevant to you. So the warm market, really important. Everybody's got a who do you know list. And again, when I'm planning a brand new FBO, we look at them, whether they're part-time or more full-time, and we will look at what they need to put on their 7-day plan and into their day book. So it could be that you're going to call 2 to 5 people per day if you're part-time, 5 to 10 if you're full-time. And I've had people say to me, oh, Jayne, I can do 20 or 30 people a day. And I say, I'm sure you can for the first week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but I'm not looking for the mad dash. What I'm looking for is the person who can go on a marathon. And they look at me kind of quizzically and they say, what do you mean? I want to work with somebody who will make 2 calls a day for the next 10 years, 5 calls a day for the next 5 years. I want someone who can be consistent every single day, not be a superstar for a week and do nothing for 3 months. So for me, when I'm planning, I'm looking for someone to look at what they can fit around their existing commitments and then commit to it. So if they're going to make 3 calls a day, it's in the diary, it's diarized, it's in the 7-day plan. We've got the names in for every single day. That allows me to hold them accountable, follow up and coach. You know, Facebook is a phenomenal way to be able to connect, engage, and invite. And that's a whole standalone training in its own right. But we need to be committing to that 3 to 5 or 5 to 10 connections per day, because the connection doesn't lead to an engagement immediately. It could be that you connect with a friend today, but they don't actually engage with you for 2 or 3 days. So you can't wait for one person to come back to you and say, hey, you know, thanks for the message, blah, 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 blah. You've got to keep connecting every single day, and then the engagements will come, and then you work the process. So 3 to 5, 5 to 10, you decide which is best for you. Same on Instagram. You know, you've got to put the time in to get the wheel in motion. And then it's about reconnecting with those people that maybe said no to you last week, last month, last year. You know, in my book, a no is never a no. A no to me is just no, not today, because the timing isn't right. But, you know, if you follow up, if you build the relationship, if you stay engaged with people, that no could quite easily turn into a yes in 6 months' time, in a year's time. And when the timing is right and they come to Forever because it's relevant for them, then they're going to grow really quickly. You know, it took me 7 years to recruit the first person I ever spoke to about Forever. She said no for 7 years. But because I loved her, I genuinely wanted her to be in Forever, she eventually said yes. And she went on to be my 25th manager, which made me a diamond. So therefore, you never, ever, ever, ever give up on talking to people. Cards and flyers, this is part of your strategy. 100 to 200 a month, 200 to 500 a month. You decide what's right for you, but you do it consistently. And now is a perfect time to go for a walk, get some exercise and cards and flyers through people's letterboxes. When I say local adverts, I'm talking about in post office windows, in the local shop window, maybe in the gym, wherever you can get to, just to put a card or a flyer up. And if someone sees it, they'll contact you and there's a relationship building. So we know that you can do between 2 to 6 case credits per month, plus, with your recruiting, if you've got a strategy and if you are consistent. So I strongly recommend that you go back and look at your goal and then break it down, look at what you need to do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and then go to work. Let go of the outcome, focus on the activity, and I promise you it will come to be. And then it's all about duplicating, because this is a simple business. As I said yesterday, if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what they want. But it is about keeping it simple. And everybody that you recruit will want slightly different things out of the business, which means that you will plan a slightly different business for them. You know, if you take Sam, could be, you know, let's say I recruited Sam, and I sat down with Sam, and Sam is quite ambitious, wants to get that 4 case credits under their belt. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plan 2 case credits of recruiting, 1 new FBO, and 2 case credits through retailing. That's going to be the plan. And I'm going to do it through applying my recruiting strategy and my retailing strategy. So Sam knows exactly what to do. It's in her diary, it's in my diary, and therefore we've got something to work towards. So we plan, we do, and we review. We plan, we do, and we review. You know, it could be that you're working with John, and John's got a little bit more time. He's a little bit more ambitious, and he wants to recruit 2 people in the month. So we go to work with him. We put a recruiting strategy in place for him to find 2 brand new team members. There's 4 case credits. We put together a retailing plan for his first month. There's 2 case credits, and the goal is 6 case credits worth of activity. We're keeping it really simple. We're just focusing on the activity and the recruiting and the retailing strategy. And that's all we're doing. And for those people that you plan but are not yet quite ready to step up, work with them as well, whether it's 1 case credit or 2 case credits. Everything is important in the growth of your business, but your priority time must be for those people who are looking to do 4 case credits plus, focusing on a balance of recruiting and retailing. And then if you look at that, you know, let's just say you've recruited 5 new frontline people, or you've got 5 existing frontlines right now, and you go and you work with them and you put together a plan for each and every one of them. You know, if you've got three people doing 6 case credits and 2 doing 4 case credits, you've got a total of 26 case credits just with the 5 people that you're working with. Now, if they're brand new people and you plan that with them in their first or their second month in the business, 26 case credits, if you times that over 4 months, even 5 months, there's 150 case credits and you've got a manager. You know, and that's what I mean when I say understand the simplicity of the marketing model and understand the simplicity of duplication and working with those that are hungry in order to build their business. So just in sort of bringing this all together now, you know, it's time to step up and be a leader. And I say this with love in my heart because so many people fear the word being a leader. They think they've got to be a manager before they can lead. They think they've got to be, you know, one of the top people in the UK before they can lead. If you look at every single one of us that has spoken on this webinar yesterday and today, we all started out as brand new FBOs, just like you. And so the way to kind of think about leadership is this. When you join Forever, you know nothing, but within 24 hours, you know something. By the end of your first week, you know more. And by the end of your first month, you know more than you think you know. So the minute that you have passed your 24 hours, you know enough to actually recruit and share some information with somebody else. Because remember, you're never in this alone. There's always somebody to help you. But you must embrace leadership. You must be prepared to teach what you know, even if you've only been in the business 24 hours longer than the person that you recruit. Because remember this, the people that you're working with, if you get it wrong, if you make a mistake, they don't know what you don't know. But what they do want to know is that you're strong enough to lead them with confidence, with belief, with love, and with the right feeling. So now could not be a better time to build your business. And I cannot emphasize this enough. If we look around the UK and we look at what's happening, you know, Arcadia shut over 444 stores in the UK this year. Oliver Sweeney, Bob, closed 7 retail shops and went online. You know, Oasis closed and Warehouse, 92 shops closed. Pizza Express, 67 sites closed. And, you know, you can just read all of this. There are companies that have been trading for 100 years, 50 years that are closing their doors and going out of business. There are literally too many stores, too many companies, too many, you know, organizations to list. And whilst it may be depressing and whilst it may be shocking, it's actually perfect for us because there are so many people being displaced right now that they need a new home. And what I love about this photo is these are Forever business owners, and look at the smiles on those faces. Look at the joy radiating from the faces of people that are in Forever. You see, they don't have to worry about the doors closing or redundancies or furloughing or no long-term security, because we are with a company that gives us not just security today, but for our children and our children's children. So for all the people that are being displaced, Forever could be their new home. So you have to start talking to people right now. And I know that for a lot of people, I've had it. Everybody that's spoken has had it. There are inherent fears that we have. We fear talking to people. Why do we fear talking to people? Because we fear rejection. We fear ridicule. We fear other people's opinions. We fear them asking us a question that we can't answer. There are so many internal fears that we have that very often those internal fears stop us being proactive. And then nobody wins. We don't win. And all those people out there who are being displaced don't win because we're not talking to them. So remember, with Forever, you can change someone's life. You know, there are people living lives of quiet desperation behind closed doors right now. You need to go a knocking. And it doesn't matter if they say no. It doesn't matter if it's not for them. It doesn't matter if the timing's not right. What matters is you need to talk to people and let them decide when the time is right to come and take a look. You know, we can't argue with what's going on in Forever. I was talking to Peter Boots the other day, and Peter's the Vice President of Europe. And we were just looking at the growth in some of the countries where they've got their figures in Europe so far. And, you know, the UK and Ireland, look at the growth that we've had just in the UK and Ireland. It's incredible. You know, if we look at Russia, 44%, Bulgaria, 26%, Hungary, 11%, Poland, 33%. We can't argue with these figures. And these figures, the growth is coming from the FBOs that are saying, you know what? I don't care what other people think. I have a company, a product, an opportunity that if I go and share with others, I can change their lives. So I just want to end by saying this to you. You know, you can't go back and change your beginning. None of us can. And if we've been in Forever for a little while and we haven't got the success that we've been looking for at that, you know, to this point in time, don't worry about that. Don't beat yourself up about what hasn't happened, because we can't change what didn't happen at the beginning of our journey. But let me tell you something right now. We can sure as heck, change and start again right now and make sure that we create a new ending, because it could not be a better time with a better company, with a phenomenal marketing plan and product range than we have with Forever. So to Rex, I just want to say thank you for your courage, your vision, your consistency over the last 42 years in giving us all an opportunity that has not only changed our lives, but all the people that we work with.